Welcome to TALKaCtive Deep Dive, the podcast about communication in the digital age. Each episode unpacks one key idea with clear, practical insights to help you connect better. Stay curious, tune in, and let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission today, well, it's all about cutting through the noise, the complexity of communication. We're tackling maybe the highest stakes scenario you can imagine. How do you get an intricate, really complex idea across when being clear isn't just nice, it's everything. It's winning versus losing.
Yeah, we're jumping right into it with this core scenario from our source material. Picture this. John, leader of the Cyber Warriors, team captain. They're literally standing right outside the virtual arena, seconds away from the final match of a huge tactical shooter tournament.
Wow. Okay, so championship on the line, prize money, bragging rights, the whole 9 yards. And their objective, it's described as highly complex, right? Capturing and holding a central base on some kind of complicated map.
Exactly. And John has maybe, 60 seconds, a minute tops to give them the strategy. And it's got to be understood, remembered, and acted on immediately.
Oof, that's intense. That briefing is basically the first battle then.
Totally. A tiny misunderstanding, like who's covering which angle, who uses their special ability when, and boom, they lose. Game over. So we're taking that pressure cooker situation and using our sources to build out a kind of universal guide, a strategy for conveying detailed info effectively, not just for gaming, but anywhere.
Okay, so before we get into the how, let's nail down the what. What exactly makes an idea complex according to the material? Because it's not just about it being hard, is it?
No, not just hard. The source defines it as having multiple parts or layers or steps that are tricky to grasp all at once. Think multiple components all working together, maybe abstract concepts that aren't easy to picture, detailed processes with specific sequences, and lots of interconnected ideas.
So if you miss one piece,
the whole thing can fall apart, yeah. Like John's attack plan needs every player, every position, every move linked together.
Gotcha. And the importance of clear communication here isn't just about winning the game, is it? It's deeper.
Right. It's fundamental. It builds trust. It makes sure everyone feels valued, knows their part in reaching the shared goal, and critically, it avoids those, painful arguments or mistakes that come from things being fuzzy or ambiguous.
Okay, let's unpack this. When the pressure's on, like John's 60 seconds, the instinct is just talk faster, right? Dump all the info out there. But the source actually recommends these 6 foundational steps, things we often skip. Why force ourselves to slow down then? What's the logic?
It's all about managing cognitive load, especially under stress. When you feel that urge to rush, that's exactly when you need to force yourself to be methodical. It's like a counter move against panic. So first, plan your message. Just quickly outline the main points, the order. It stops you from rambling.
Okay, that makes sense. Rambling just throws random stuff out there, adds confusion.
Second, use simple language. Ditch the jargon if you can, or if you absolutely have to use it, define it instantly. No assumptions. Third, use examples or analogies. This helps make abstract ideas like complex positioning feel more concrete, more visual.
Like if John says, think of this like a pincer movement.
Exactly. Everyone gets a quick mental picture. Though you raise a good point sometimes.
Yeah, I was thinking, what if the analogy doesn't land? Like if John uses a sports analogy and half the team isn't into sports, couldn't that backfire?
That's a really sharp point. You absolutely have to know your audience. Choose analogies that resonate. But when they work, they're like a shortcut for memory. Okay, fourth, break it down. Divide the complex whole into smaller, digestible chunks, especially vital for processes or sequences. Fifth, use visual aids. For John, that's pointing to the map, right? The visual has to lock in the concept you're explaining.
And the last one, which feels crucial for knowing if it actually worked, ask for feedback. But the source suggests it's more than just asking, got it.
Right. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You need to structure that feedback check to actually find misunderstandings, not just get nods. Ask targeted questions, rule-specific ones. Okay, player A, talk me through your escape route if that main push stalls.
Okay. That pressure tests their understanding right there.
Exactly. Instantly.
That feels really actionable, whether it's like trying to get friends to coordinate on a messy group project for history class or, a championship game plan. These prep steps matter.
Right. So once we've planned, we need the tools to actually structure the message so it, holds up under pressure. The source talks about key formulas for this.
Okay, formulas. Let's start with the ones that seem more visual or narrative. Mind maps and storytelling.
Yeah, mind maps are brilliant visual tools. They help organize points logically around that central idea or objective. Great for seeing the connections, they break down complexity visually, and those visual cues actually boost memory. Plus, you can make them engaging, add colors, icons, whatever.
Okay, visual structure. But storytelling. I usually think of that as like entertainment. How is it a strategic tool in John's 60-second brief?
Because it makes the abstract real. It connects emotionally, it builds engagement, and helps things stick. John needs context and buy-in fast. If he starts with something like, okay, team, we're the last line of defense here. If we don't hold this space, it's over.
Okay. That sets the stage.
Exactly. It connects the what hold the base to the why, winning or losing everything.
Yeah.
It gives the whole plan an immediate, urgent structure.
Right. Now let's get into the maybe more structural methods. The source highlights two big ones, the pyramid principle and the chunking method. They sound a bit similar, both about organizing info. What's the key difference? When do you pick one over the other?
That's the critical distinction, yeah. The pyramid principle is all about putting the main message, the core conclusion, right at the top, the peak of the pyramid.
Yeah.
You use this when clarity and efficiency are absolutely vital, like when your audience is short on time or attention or maybe both, you give them the answer first.
So John might use this for his opening. Like, okay, listen up. We win this by locking down the central base completely. Now, here's how we do it.
Perfect example. The conclusion, we win by doing X, comes before the supporting details, the steps to achieve X. Now, contrast that with the chunking method. Chunking is purely about breaking down complex information into smaller, sequential, manageable bits or chunks. You use chunking when the process itself is the key thing, and it has steps that need to happen in order. If step 1 fails, step 2 is irrelevant.
Okay, so pyramid gives the what or the why up front. Chunking gives the detailed how, step by step, like explaining the sequence for breaching a defended room in the game.
Precisely. Chunk 1. Player X uses smoke grenade here. Chunk 2. Player Y follows with a flashbang through this window. Chunk 3. Team pushes in from this door. Each chunk is a specific digestible action. It dramatically improves understanding and memory for those detailed procedures.
Okay, that makes sense. We've got prep steps, we've got structural formulas, but communication these days, especially digital stuff, is like a minefield. What are the big mistakes the source warns about? The things John needs to avoid, maybe even in their team chat before the match?
Yeah, digital pitfalls are huge.
Yeah.
Number 1, assuming prior knowledge. This kills strategies instantly. If John starts using a ton of game-specific jargon like, we need to Kate the OP champ while AFK Dave guards flank, and there's a new player.
Who has no idea what kite or OP or AFK means?
Yeah.
The plan is dead on arrival.
Exactly. You have to define key terms or use simpler language. Clarity trumps trying to sound cool or in the know.
And then there's the classic mess of trying to organize something complex, like a trip or an event, through scattered texts or emails, which leads to mistake number 2.
Lack of clarity. Yeah. Vague instructions, unclear deadlines or responsibilities. It just breeds confusion and inefficiency. The tip is simple, be concise, be specific. And related to that is overloading information, sending one massive wall of text like detailed instructions for a whole event in a single group chat message.
Oh yeah, people just skim those or miss half of it.
Right. You guarantee stuff gets missed.
Yeah.
Prioritize the info, break into smaller digestible updates or points.
And the curse of digital. Ignoring tone. Sending a quick message like, need that report now, can sound really harsh without any context or nonverbals.
Totally. It's so easy for text to be misinterpreted as rude or angry. Basic politeness helps. And, emojis can sometimes soften things, but even they aren't foolproof. People interpret them differently. That lack of clear tone is a real danger online.
Okay, switching gears to offline mistakes, face-to-face stuff, like in John's briefing room. The first big one is not listening actively.
And this isn't just about being polite, it's about actual comprehension. If you're checking your phone or your mind is wandering while someone is explaining your role,
you're going to miss crucial details, deadlines, specific tasks.
Exactly. The tip is obvious but hard. Focus on the speaker, show you're engaged, ask clarifying questions. It shows respect and it shows you actually got the information.
Then there's the one that really breaks the flow and shows, frankly, a lack of respect.
Yeah.
Interrupting the speaker.
Yeah. Constantly cutting someone off doesn't just disrupt their train of thought, making it harder for them to explain something complex logically. It also adds stress to the whole interaction. You got to practice patience, let them finish their point, let the logical structure unfold.
And finally, the one that can be really confusing, nonverbal mismatches.
Yeah. Saying one thing, but your body language is screaming something else entirely.
Like John saying, I'm super confident we've got this, but he's pacing, avoiding eye contact, fidgeting.
Right. It creates cognitive dissonance in the audience. They don't know what to believe, the words or the actions. It undermines trust. Your words and your body language need to align for sincerity.
Okay, let's bring it all back. John's got maybe 30 seconds left on the clock before they go out. How does he pull all this together to win the briefing?
He used the tools strategically, layering them. First, he starts with the objective, maybe framed as a mini-story, using that pyramid principle. Okay, team, winning this means absolute control of the center. That's priority one. The core message, the win condition, right up front.
Got it. Then he needs to explain the how.
Right. He breaks down the strategy, maybe using a quick, clear analogy they all get, it's like a tactical siege, to make the overall plan stick. Then, crucially, he uses visual aids, points to the map, marks routes, making the abstract positions concrete. That's for clarity. And those specific map positions and maneuvers, he breaks those down using the chunking method. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3 for the actual execution.
And assigning roles.
Yes. Assign specific roles, but maybe uses language that adds a bit of importance, makes it relatable. Player A, you're our stealth expert. Lock down that left flank. Nobody gets past you. It aids memory, makes it stick.
Okay, and the wrap-up.
He summarizes and motivates. A quick, high-impact recap of the core plan. Remember, flank security, central push. And then, that crucial feedback check. Player A, your #1 priority, ensures understanding, not just nodding.
Makes sense. So by layering these, the pyramid for the big picture, storytelling for urgency, chunking for the details, visuals for clarity, feedback for confirmation, John makes sure everyone's on the same page.
Exactly. He avoids that fatal confusion. Everyone knows not just what to do, but why it matters and how it connects to everyone else's role. That's how you build a winning strategy out of complexity.
So the big takeaway seems to be that whether you're planning a final assault in a game or just trying to coordinate a complicated project at work or school, communication isn't just talking. It needs strategy, structure, using tools like the pyramid principle or storytelling to cut through the noise.
Absolutely. But it does raise an interesting follow-up thought for everyone listening. We spent all this time on communicating complex ideas, strategies, processes, plans, logical stuff. But what happens when the complexity isn't logical but emotional? What about communicating really complex feelings or navigating difficult personal conflicts? How well do these structured, logical formulas hold up when you move from the technical to the deeply subjective?
That's a whole other challenge, isn't it? Something to think about.
Definitely.
Okay, that's our deep dive for today. Try applying these strategies, see how they work for you, and we'll catch you next time.